All right, with that, I'll call to order the City of Green Acres Code Enforcement hearing. Today is November 20th. It is 3:05. My name is Amity Barnard. I'll be the special magistrate for today's hearing. The first thing I'm going to do is swear anybody in who's here to speak on any items on today's agenda. So if you're here for code enforcement, if you could stand and raise your right hands, including city staff, I'll swear everybody in at the same time. So if you're here, stand, and if you're able to stand, raise your right hands for me. Are you testifying, sir? Okay. Do you all swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated. A little bit about process. It looks like on the agenda, all of these cases are either, I think they're all violation hearings, in fact. So when you hear your case called, the city is going to come to the podium on my left first. The city will put on its evidence, call any witnesses that it's going to call, show me the documents that it intends to enter into the record. Once the city is finished with its presentation, you'll come to that same podium over there on my left. You will then get an opportunity to review the city's documentation, cross-examine any witnesses that the city has called, and present any evidence that you'd like me to hear, either verbal or in writing today. Once that is completed, I'll make a ruling, and you'll get an order that reflects that ruling, either as you leave here today or in the mail after the hearing. With that, remember, I have sworn all of you in, so all of your testimony is given under oath today, so keep that in mind as you're testifying. With that, I will turn it to the city to call its first case.
First case, case number 10-24-10833. The case was initiated by Jerry Bernal, and this case will be continued to the next hearing. If you
Yeah, let me ask the city, stand by for me, sir. Let me ask the city. So you're asking for an order granting continuance, or you're
Yes.
resetting it?
Or resetting it to the next hearing. We're gonna renotice and send out a renotice.
You're going to renotice, so you're
Yes.
pulling it from the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. So can somebody explain to the gentleman in the back whose case this is? They're pulling your case from the agenda, so they're not hearing it today.
So
We'll skip over
we'll
that
skip
case
over
for
that.
now.
We'll bring it back
Yep, go
if
to
it
case
needs-
number 2, please, and then we'll come back.
Case 10-24-10835, initiated by Jerry Bernal. This case will also be removed from this agenda and renoticed to the next hearing.
That was 10835.
Yes,
Okay.
number 2.
Go ahead when you're ready.
Okay. Next case, case number 3, case 10-24-10838. This case was initiated and will be presented by Jerry Bernal.
Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, Jerry Bernal, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This case, 10838, is located at 340 Walker Avenue, and it was cited by me on October 21st when a notice of violation was sent certified mail. The property owner is Jean Victomar, and this case is about the open storage of a refrigerator with the doors attached on the side of the house. To date, including today on this morning's inspection, the refrigerator is still on the side of the property, and the doors have not been removed either. I've submitted a package. The package that I submitted for evidence includes the proof of ownership, which is the papas. Proof of service for today's hearing was, which is dated November the 6th, was sent through certified mail and also posted at the property and city hall on November the 6th. Affidavit of posting dated November 18th is included, as well as the photos.
Have you had any communication with the respondent?
Not at all.
Okay. What's the city seeking in terms of remedy today?
CD is seeking, hang on a minute. The property is not homesteaded, so we're seeking $100 a day for 30 days.
30 days, you said?
7 days.
And I see in the photos, it is,
The one photo, that one package that I gave you, with
Uh-huh.
the photo not attached, I didn't get a chance to, that's today's picture.
what's today's picture? It looks like it's out by the garbage cans. Is it out for garbage
Well, it's
can?
been there since the day I cited it, and it's not supposed to be there.
And it's not supposed to be there, okay. On the 7 days, if you send the order certified mail, I'm not sure that the mail will get there in 7 days. So my concern is that that's not a reasonable time to comply if the respondent doesn't even get the certified mail.
So what we try to do within that time, but when we give a small deadline or time frame, we usually post the board order to the property also and send it just so they get notice.
Okay, as long as you're committed to posting it,
Yes,
then that's
we definitely
fine. My
post
concern is just if you haven't had any contact with them and they don't get the
Exactly.
mail, then they're not gonna know they only have 7 days
Exactly,
to do it.
magistrate. So yeah, with the short time frames, we do post the property.
Okay, perfect.
I believe the respondent is here.
Even better. Is the respondent present? Yes. Very good, sir. Thank you. Can you come to the podium and give me your name, please?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Bernard. This is Gene Victormar for the property of 340 Walker Avenue.
All right, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask somebody from the city to come get this case file and show it to him. Thank you. With your city attorney outside. These are the documents that the city would like me to enter into the record, so he's gonna hand you those documents and explain to you what they are, and then at the end of that, I'm gonna ask if you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record.
Today's picture, okay? This was the original picture. October 18th. All right.
Do you understand those documents, sir?
I understand.
Do you have any objection to those documents?
I never received a certified mail. To my understanding, when a certified mail is sent out, the recipient, they're supposed to sign for it. The only thing I received was this postage saying that there was a violation, and I didn't receive any type of instruction until today that I have to appear today to court. So I did take a picture too as well before I came here, showing that the fridge has been removed from the property.
Okay, go ahead and show the photograph that you have. Is the pink document, is that a courtesy notice?
Pink document is what we actually posted on the door.
Okay, take a look at his photograph of the fridge being removed.
That's 2:15, my picture was this morning, so. The picture I took this morning,
Okay,
this is
from
from
250, but the fridge is gone, right?
It is gone.
Okay. Let me,
It's a heavy fridge too, Your Honor.
okay, let me see the photo. Let me ask the code officer, give it to the code officer, please, and he'll bring it to me. Thank you. Okay. All right. Can the city keep a copy of this?
It's yours.
Okay. All right, so you moved the fridge today, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So let me just go back to the argument about service. So I'll admit the documents over your objection. I understand you may not have received the certified mail or signed for the certified mail, but the other document that's in this packet of information is an affidavit of posting that the notice documents were also posted to your door. So,
I didn't get those documents. This is the only thing I received that was posted in my door.
okay, well, I have an affidavit in here that the documents were in fact posted to the door.
This is I only got the pink letter.
Okay. So I guess let me ask, in the code officer's notice of violation, how much time did you give him to comply?
The original notice?
I was unaware there was a time frame to comply. The only document I got was this, stating that I had to be in court today. So if I did receive a notice, was aware of it, I would have complied.
The original notice dated on October 21st, gave him 2 weeks to comply. Didn't hear anything at all, and so on the date of the hearing notice, which is...
Where was the 2 weeks?
The notice, the NOV. It's dated October the 21st.
There we go. I got it. Thank you. I was looking at the wrong.
We gave him 2 weeks. And the hearing notice, which was posted on his door, is November the 6th.
All right.
And that's the affidavit of posting is for the hearing notice.
So 14 days was comply by November 1st. Okay. All right, so what is the city seeking? Given that he's in compliance and we have evidence that he's in compliance, what's the city seeking?
The city we will do an investigation to confirm that this violation has been complied, and if so, then we will comply the case. If not, then he will
Well, I think, I have evidence that he's complied as of today. So technically, based on this evidence, he's no longer in violation as of today. So I can issue a finding of fact if you think this is something that's likely to recur because he didn't comply based on the time specified in the notice of violation. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's right, you didn't see that. But yeah, given that's evidence that he's complied as of today, so, okay. All right, so what that means, sir, is that the city has presented documents which I've admitted into evidence over your objection, just given that they posted to the property and they sent to the legally required address based on the tax collector or property appraiser's record, so have to find legal service for today's hearing. That said, you've given me an additional exhibit that proves that you came into compliance as of 2/15 today. So what a finding of fact means is it means I'm going to find you in violation because you didn't comply within the time that was specified on the notice of violation, which was 14 days from October 21st, which was November 1st. So all that means is don't repeat the same violation again, or they will immediately set you up for a repeat violation. So just keep in mind that you will have been violated on this code section. Don't do it again and you'll have no issue. But I do have to, based on the evidence that I have here today, I have to find you in violation because you didn't comply timely, but you have since complied, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, anything else you'd like me to hear? No, that's it. Okay. All right, in case 10-24-10838, I've entered the city's evidentiary case file as Composite Exhibit 1, or I will officially enter that as Composite Exhibit 1 over objection. I'll find based on the affidavit of posting and the notice documents in the case file that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the and let me also enter Respondent's Exhibit R1. I'll mark it as such. I'll enter that into the record without objection by the city. Based on the city's evidence as well as the respondent's evidence and testimony, I'll find that the respondent was in violation of Section 7-426B, has come into compliance as of 2/15 today, November 20th, but did not comply within the time specified in the notice of violation. So I will find respondent in violation, noting that he has cured the violation. So just again, remember, don't don't get violated for the same code section within a 5-year time frame, or they can set you up for a repeat violation, okay? Or you'll get an order that reflects that, we, in short, call it a finding of fact, okay? Thank you, sir. Next case.
Next case would be case number 4, case 11-24-10843. This case was initiated and will be presented by Xavier Morales.
Good afternoon, Xavier Morales, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property is located at 614 Sea Pine Way, C2. The property owners are listed as Melina and Joel Sese. This property was first cited on August 26, 2024. This case is about an air conditioner unit that was installed without a permit, and to date, no permit has been applied for. I have submitted a package for evidence, which includes the proof of ownerships, the Papa's printout, a copy of the notice of violation/hearing notice dated November 1st, 2024, proof of service for the notice of violation/hearing notice. It was posted, and the affidavit of posting is included. Also included is a City of Green Acres screenshot copy of the permits that have been applied for at the property address. And also present is the City of Green Acres Mechanical Inspector John Pankowitz as a witness.
All right, let me just look through. And what was installed, you said, without a permit?
An air conditioner unit.
Air conditioner. And how do you know it was installed?
Mechanical Inspector John Pankowitz discovered it on inspection.
He's here.
Okay, do you have photographs of it?
We do not have photographs of the air conditioner unit because it's in a, while he was doing an inspection, it's in a, on the roof of an apartment complex.
It's outside, it's on the roof? Okay,
It's not outside on the roof, it's like in a cubby in the roof,
okay.
like in an attic, if you will.
Okay, so I guess let me hear from that witness.
John.
My name is John Pankowitz, City of Green Acres Mechanical Inspector. I was up there doing an inspection up on that roof at that time. I noticed there was a couple units there that were new there's about 6 units up on those roofs. And I noticed there was a couple other units that were brand new. So I took them down, I checked them out through our system and found out that they weren't permitted.
Okay. And when you say they were new, you could tell based on new paint, they just looked new? Give me some
Year, the years on
testimony.
it,
They do have the year printed on them? Okay.
I didn't take pictures because I would just have to do so much work coming back and forth. I should have taken pictures, but I didn't.
And do you recall what the year was?
2024, 2023, yeah.
Okay.
2 units.
And this permit sheet that I'm looking at, I guess make sure I understand, what is this showing me? It's just showing me there's no permits?
Yes, it shows the permits that have been applied for, it's like a historical, and the permit for that particular air conditioner unit is not there, is not listed.
Okay, so the city doesn't have any record of any permit application having been submitted for the air conditioning units?
As of right now, we don't, but according, the mechanical air conditioning contractor is sitting there, and he said he had submitted it, and he has proof that he submitted on the unit that was a 2023, that he did submit the permit, but it was kicked back for other reasons, and then it somehow got lost in our system.
Okay, let me ask that gentleman to come up. I'll have the city folks sit down, and then I may call you back up.
Hello, my name is Bill Eldred from Easy Permits and Inspections.
What's your last name, sir?
Eldred, E-L-D-R-E-D.
Okay. And you're...
I just submitted permits, and I meet with the inspector to get permits closed out.
Okay.
I might be able to shed a little.
Are you here on behalf of the respondents, or are
Yes,
you
I'm
here?
here on behalf of the
Okay,
respondents.
so they sent you. They know you're here. They
Yeah,
authorized
I
you to.
met with them before we came in here.
Okay.
They were here, but we told them that I was here, so they didn't have to stay.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and explain to me what's going on.
Can we give this to her?
Yeah, let's do the documents first. Go ahead and show him these documents. Yes.
So what he's given
Show
you
him
is
those
two
and then-
emails, one dated November 14th of 2023. The one from November 14th, the way that permits are submitted with Green Acres is it's done through an email. We email all the documents, the permit application and supporting documents through an email, and that's how it gets submitted, reviewed, and taken care of. In this particular case, there was a comment that came back that they wanted the anchoring detail also. So if you see, there's two emails that I resubmitted the permit application with the anchoring detail the very next day. And somehow after that, it got lost in the shuffle. We never heard from them. Apparently what they were looking for was a letter of allowing us to pull a permit from the homeowner, which is a normal requirement for Green Acres. And I missed that. I didn't see it.
Okay.
And the homeowner called me up and told me about the letter. And so we have the letter. I have some more documents here, including the letter from the homeowner, which was dated October 4th, 2024. But these are what actually was submitted was the permit application. You can see it's notarized November 23rd, November 14th, 2023. This is what was submitted to the building department, but somehow it got
When was
lost
it submitted?
submitted by the email.
No, but when? Because
oh,
these
no-
emails are from November 14th and 15th, so these are
Correct.
just
They
a
were
couple of
submitted
days
on
ago.
November 14th, 2023.
Okay, so you applied on November 14th, 2024.
That's correct. And the air conditioning system was installed without a permit, but the building code allows air conditioning equipment to be installed without a permit as long as you go the very next day and pull the permit, which is exactly what I did.
Man, we are starting off with a bang today, aren't we?
Yes.
All right, let me ask you, before we get any further into the merits of it, the code officer handed you the documents that the city wants to enter into the record.
Yes.
Take a look at those and let me know if you have any objection to those documents, okay?
All right. Get this. Violation. Okay, so the only thing I have the objection to, and it's kind of mute at this point, is where the violation says that you have to obtain a permit before you do work. But with air conditioning, it's different. The state of Florida doesn't want anybody to be without air conditioning, so they allow air conditioning units to be installed without a permit being pulled, as long as you notify the municipality and pull that permit within 24 hours. So that's the only objection I have, but I think it's a moot point at this point.
Okay, so I'll admit the documents over that objection. I understand what you're saying. That really goes more to the argument of what you're here for, but with that, did the city have any objections to these emails being admitted?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So let me ask you, sir, to give the code officer back those documents, and he's going to give them back to me so I can look at them for service. Thank you. Okay. So let me ask Mr. Morales, where did he go? What's on this case detail? It says citation warning 826. You cited this on November 1st? Did something happen in August too?
citation for 826.
Uh-huh,
That was a citation that was issued by the mechanical inspector, John Pankowitz, when he discovered that the air conditioner was installed at that time.
okay. So, Mr. Pankowitz, you saw the air conditioning unit in August?
Yeah, I guess it was.
Okay. So, Mr. Eldred, I thought you said that the air conditioning unit was installed in November, the day you submitted for the permit.
It just took John about a year to find it.
Okay.
Okay. What's the city's response to his statement about air conditioning units not requiring a building permit?
Can I correct that?
Go ahead, let me hear from Mr. Eldred, and then I'll ask the city to
Yeah,
respond.
it's not that they don't require a permit, they don't require it to do the install. It's required in permit, it has to be pulled within 24 hours. In this case, an email has to be sent within 24 hours, which is exactly what I did. But yet, permit's definitely required, it's just not required at the time of the install. That's why sometimes an inspector can go and see an AC being installed, and they may say something, but if there's a permit in process or in place, or they're planning on pulling a permit, then they're okay.
Okay, now let me hear the city's response.
That is basically true. We allow them to have a little bit of leeway as they're putting in, so nobody can have a problem putting in air conditioners. In other words, if your air conditioner went out on Saturday, you're not waiting, if it's 100 degrees in August, till Monday. You give the city a call, whatever city it is, even including the city, and leave them a message saying, I'm putting in a unit at this date and this time, and I'll be in a couple days to pick up a permit, and we are more than fine with that. The problem is when they don't call, and then we go up on the roof and we find them. That's the problem, is, when they don't call and stuff. But Bill's been doing work in the city for quite some time, even before I was here, and I'm guessing this is just a problem with paperwork for the first one, and the second unit that's in there is probably just an overlook, but that's from my professional opinion.
Okay.
So has the permit been completed, passed inspections, everything is completed?
No, I have the application here, and the application is still in there to be submitted. One of the things I'm gonna have to do, maybe I'll get with John and make sure, maybe we can push this thing through, but they have everything there. They just have to approve it, give us our permit, we pay the fees, get John to inspect it, and we're done. Somehow it got lost in the shuffle. I don't know what happened with this one. It should have been taken care of a year ago.
Perfect timing,
Right.
Madam City Attorney.
Yes.
So the Cliff Notes version,
Yes.
we're on case number 4. The evidence that I was just presented with is that the city cited this respondent for installation of air conditioning unit without a permit, but I have testimony from the respondent and the city staff that a permit is not required for installation of an air conditioning unit at the time of installation. You have to install, or you have to get a permit. I guess you have to apply within 24 hours of installation.
That's correct.
The issue is here, my question to the city is the section that was cited was work without a permit, not failure to obtain the permit within 24 hours or whatever that code section that's being discussed is. And the testimony of respondent, he's given me 2 emails from November of last year. I guess he applied for permits for the air conditioning units and somehow they're lost in the system. Sorry for that, right when you walk back in. It sounds like they're in the pipeline. My question, I guess, is, given the testimony that from the city that you actually don't have to have a permit to do the installation, I'm questioning whether I can find them in violation today based on the evidence I have.
So, we don't have our building department here?
Oh, he was just, he just testified. Yeah, he was just here.
So they applied, it sounds like they applied and were given the approval. It sounds like they applied, they have not been issued the permit. I don't know if there's additional information, but there would have been some response to the applicant, so he does not have a permit. So is the AC working?
Oh, yeah.
And it was installed a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's been up there for a year. Yeah, my concern, I don't have before me the code that says you have 24 hours to apply. Is that what the building code says, that you have 24 hours to apply for a permit? I can't imagine that they would tell you you have 24 hours to have
Yeah,
a permit
Pretty
issued.
much. It says, pretty much that's exactly what it says.
Apply for a permit within 24 hours?
In 24 hours to apply for the permit. You have to notify the municipality right away, but you have 24 hours to actually put the application in. That is under the 2023 Florida Building Code. I don't have that code in front of me. I should have brought it with me, but I don't have it in front of me. John will confirm that that's true.
He already has on the record.
Yeah, I know we don't have that code.
But you have to apply within 24 hours.
Correct.
Did you apply within 24 hours?
Yes, she has the emails. You know how, I don't know if you know Green Acres, is that you apply through an email. We submit all the permit application and the supporting documents through an email. And this is what I submitted, and she has copies of the email. It somehow got lost in the system. I don't know what happened, but
Okay. Did the city ever give comments back on the permit?
they did. On the 14th, they gave a comment saying that they need the anchoring detail as well. The very next day, and she has that email as well, the very next day, I resubmitted the whole thing with the anchoring detail and never heard anything back. And I'm sure this is a situation I can work with John to get this thing pushed through and pay the fees and get him to inspect it and get it done. But it's just I'm sorry, it looks like it's just a clerical situation here, is what it looks like. I mean, that's what it looks like to
We'll
me.
continue to the next hearing,
Yeah.
to January.
I'm assuming that this could be done within the next 30 days.
Oh, of course, absolutely, absolutely.
We could just continue the case for 30 days, and assuming they come into compliance, then
Yeah.
You can work with them outside. Okay, perfect.
That'd be perfect, yeah.
You're in agreement with that, sir?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, very good. All right. Anything further before I grant a continuance? Any other wrinkles in this one today? All right, in case 11-24-10843, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file for the purpose of finding service. Over objection of the respondent, based on the documents that are in the case file, I'll note and have the record reflect that the city had good service for today's hearing. Given that, I will continue this matter to, what is the next hearing date?
It'll probably be January 22nd, 2020, of next year.
January 22nd?
Yes.
And the order will just be a straight continuance, just reset this for violation hearing on I'm not gonna make a finding of violation based on the evidence I have, so this will
It'll
just need
be
to
a
reset
new
it
cast,
to January
yes, and
22nd,
renotice
2025.
and yes, with the.
Okay, perfect. So with that, you'll get an order that says that this hearing, the violation hearing is being reset to January 22nd, 2025, okay?
If we comply, obviously, within the next couple of weeks, do we have to be here for the hearing? Or
No,
No,
I'll
the
ask you
case
to
would be
get with the
complied.
city on that, but yeah, if you comply, they're not gonna put you on agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
I have a question for you. We have one more case that I'm involved in. I didn't know it. We were sitting there and he told me, I said, is this yours? Yeah, that's mine. Is it possible we can do that one next?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Yeah, same address, 614 Sea Pine Way in Eunice. What is it? This
Okay.
one.
Yeah, it's the next one.
It's Phil Lombardo. He lives in New York, and because I just found out, I don't know what the status is on that one. I believe that's one where it's kind of confusing.
Hold on,
Oh,
let me ask you to, yeah, let me have them call it into the record, and then we'll get there. Go ahead.
Number 5, case number 11-24-10844. This case was initiated and will be presented by Xavier Morales.
Good afternoon, Xavier Morales, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property is located at 614 Sea Pine Way, D1. The property owner is listed as Philip Lombardo. This property was first cited on August 26, 2024. This case is about an air conditioner unit installed without a permit. To date, no permit has been applied for. I have submitted a package for evidence, which includes the proof of ownerships and a Papa's printout, a copy of the notice of violation / hearing notice dated November 1st, proof of service for the notice of violation hearing notice. It was posted. The affidavit of posting is included. And also included is a City of Green Acres screenshot copy of the permits that have been applied for at the property address. And also present is the City of Green Acres Mechanical Inspector, John Pankowitz, as a witness.
All right, next witness. Mr. Pankowitz, are you going to testify on this one too? No, let me hear from the city first, sir, and then I'll call you up, Mr. Eldred.
On that same day of August 26th, was on that's the same roof, it's the same unit. There was, like I said, there was a couple units up there that didn't have a permit, and that's what I noticed, it was a newer unit, and I submitted a ticket to the homeowner on his door, and now we're here, so. That's it, yeah.
And it, again, was the same scenario? I don't see a photograph of the air conditioning
This
unit,
was- No, there's no photographs, correct.
but you observed it to be a new unit. Did it have a date on it?
Yeah, same thing, it had the same date on it.
2023?
Yep.
Okay. And there's no permits, I think the testimony of Mr. Morales is there's no permits that have been applied for?
Correct.
Okay. Anything further from the city?
Nope.
Okay. You're up, Mr. Eldred.
I just found out about this today. I didn't know about it prior. Phil Lombardo is a customer of mine. I pull his permits for him in Green Acres. But I hate to say this, but I don't know the status on this. I don't know the background on it, because I just heard about it when I was sitting down with John. So nobody said anything to me. Is it possible we can just get a continuance on this so I can find out what's going on? It could be the same situation, but I just don't know.
Well, the difference in this case is that I have testimony from the city that there's a new air conditioning unit there, and I have permit information from the city that suggests there's no air conditioning permit. So unless you have evidence here for me today that you do have a permit, or you're in the same scenario as the prior case where you have emails, I have enough evidence to find the respondent in violation.
I understand that. I didn't know about it until just now when I was sitting down with John.
Okay.
I just didn't know about it.
Does Mr. Lombardo know you're here on this case?
No, he doesn't. He lives in
Okay.
New York City, but I do pull his permits for him. And, when it comes to air conditioning, there can be situations that comes up, especially with Green Acres, because everything's done through emails. You send it out an email, and maybe they don't get it, or they respond to an email you send, and you don't get it. You know how emails are. Things happen. It's not the safest way to pull permits.
Okay. Let me ask, what's the city requesting in this case in terms of remedy?
$100 a day after 30 days, Your Honor.
And what's the city's current turnaround time on permits? 30 days is more than enough time to get a permit issued? Okay. Okay. Mr. Eldred, my experience with the city has been that they turn permits around pretty quickly.
They do,
Do you have any reason to believe that 30 days is not a reasonable time?
30 days is very reasonable.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you'd like me to hear today?
Nope.
Okay. And just so you know how the city's, I don't recognize you with all due respect, which probably means you haven't been at a code enforcement hearing that I've been at, so that's probably a good thing. But just so you know how the city's process works, they don't bring back cases. This is the hearing on the case, so if the permit isn't issued by the end of that 30-day period, the fine will automatically start running on the 31st day. So make sure your client understands that, make sure you understand that, so that you can get through their process within those 30 days. As I said, the city turns permits around pretty quick, but as you know, doing the business that you do, their turnaround time is based on the quality of the application that they receive. So make sure when you submit, you submit a complete application, and 30 days should be more than enough time, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right, anything else from the city on this one? All right, in case 11-24-10844, I'll enter, let me ask you, Mr. Eldred, even though Mr. Lombardo doesn't know you're here, let me ask the city to show you this document real quick before I admit it into evidence. Thank you, sir. Take a look at those documents and let me know if you have any objection to those being entered into the record.
It's going to be the same thing, Your Honor. If the document does say that work done without a permit, you know the situation.
Yep.
it's pretty much the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
I have no objection to.
Okay, thank you, sir. With that, I'll admit the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of Mr. Morales and particularly Mr. Pankowitz that the respondent's in violation of section 105.1 of the Florida Building Code for the air conditioning unit that was installed without the required permit. I'll require respondent to comply with that code section within 30 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter. So just make sure you get the permit issued, not applied for, sir, issued within the 30 days, and you'll be out of code enforcement trouble. Next case.
Number 6 on the agenda, case 11-24-10846. This property was initiated by Xavier Morales and will be presented by Xavier Morales.
Good afternoon, Xavier Morales, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property is located at 623 Sea Pine Way, D2. The property owner is listed as 601 Real Estate LLC. This property was first cited on August 22nd, 2024. This case is about an air conditioner unit that was installed without a permit. To date, no permit has been applied for. I have submitted a package for evidence, which includes proof of ownership, Propa's printout, a screenshot of the Sunbiz company information, a copy of the notice of violation / hearing notice dated November 1st, 2024, proof of service for the notice of violation / hearing notice. It was posted. The affidavit of posting is included. It was also mailed by certified mail, and the signed mail receipt is also included. A City of Green Acres screenshot copy of the permits that have been applied for at the property address. And also present is the City of Green Acres Mechanical Inspector, John Pankowitz.
Where do you go? Mr. Pankowitz? There you are. Go ahead, sir. I don't see any photographs, so go ahead and testify to the violation and what you saw.
Again, this was a unit that was up on top of the roof, and I had done an inspection for somebody else in that apartment complex, and I noticed there was a brand-new unit there also. So this is also a 2023 unit. It was installed without a permit after looking at the property appraiser and through our system.
It looks like the permit documentation, the only permit that's been issued is a roof permit. Is the respondent present? All right, for the record, the respondent is not present. What's the city seeking in terms of remedy?
$100 a day after 30 days.
All right, anything further from the city in this case?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, in case 11-24-10846, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1. Without objection, I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include a signed green card and an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of city staff, as well as the documents in the case file, that the respondent's in violation of section 105.1 for the air conditioning unit that was installed without the required permit. I'll require respondents to comply with that code section within 30 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues thereafter. Next case.
Okay. Magistrate, we're gonna go out of order so we can let the mechanical inspector go.
That's
So
fine.
I'm gonna call number 12 on the agenda next. One sec. Number 12 on the agenda, case 7-24-10622. initiated and will be presented by Xavier Morales.
Good afternoon, Xavier Morales, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property is located at 5086 Bright Galaxy Lane. The property owner is listed as Chirambaram Chinia. I hope I didn't butcher that. This property was first cited on June 14th, 2024. This case is also about an air conditioner unit installed without a permit. I have submitted a package for evidence, which includes the proof of ownership, the Papa's printout, a copy of the notice of violation / hearing notice dated October 23rd, 2024, proof of service for the notice of violation / hearing notice. It was posted and the affidavit of posting is included. Also included is a City of Green Acres screenshot copy of the permits that have been applied for at the property address. And also present is the City of Green Acres Mechanical Inspector, John Pankowitz, as a witness.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Yes, this unit was a 2024 air conditioning unit that I noticed because I was doing next door's unit. As I walked up to the door of the next door neighbors, I could see that they had a brand new unit. Came back to the city, checked to see if it was a brand new unit or a permit. And as you can see, it hadn't had a permit since whatever year it is. And I knew that air conditioners only last between 7 and 10 years. So I had given him a ticket on that site saying that the unit was newer and that he needed to get a permit.
And this permit printout has a whole bunch of permits on here, but none of these are for air conditioning units?
None.
Okay. Okay, what's the city seeking in terms of remedy?
The city is seeking $100 a day after 30 days.
Is the respondent present in this case? Seeing none, for the record, the respondent is not present. In case 7-24-10622, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. Anything further from the city?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll find based on the documents that are in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of city staff as well as the documents in the case file that the respondent's in violation of section 105.1 and 110.1 for the air conditioning unit installed without the required permits and inspections. I'll require respondents to comply within 30 days or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter. Next case.
Number 7 on the agenda, case 1-24-10113. Case was initiated and will be presented by Jerry Bernal.
Case number 10514, and the property is located at 5057 Lake Worth Road, 5057. The property owner is Iglesia Bautista Libre Emmanuel Incorporated. On January the 2nd, this property was cited by another officer. The case was then turned over to me. It was cited for a violation which was sent through certified mail. And the case is about interior renovations being done without permit and inspections. Also, they are operating as a house of worship, and they have not obtained a special exception through zoning and planning to operate as a house of worship exception. To date, no permit application has been submitted for the interior renovations, and the application for the special exception are both in review with Zoning and Planning.
So there is an application in?
As far as I'm concerned, for the special exception, I believe, I was told that they do have something in review, but they're waiting, I guess, for a response from the property owner. I submitted a package which includes the proof of ownership. Proof of service for this hearing dated November the 1st was sent through certified mail and also posted at the property on November the 4th. Affidavit of posting dated November 18th is included along with the photos of the interior renovations.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the desk. I believe we have somebody here from Zoning and Planning.
Okay. Let me just, there's a bunch of papers in this
There is.
case file. Let me look through everything first.
A lot of that is the correspondence between Millie Rivetta and the property owner of the church.
Okay, so the interior, what's the scope of the interior renovation? It's the kitchen? Is
It
that
used
what?
to be a pawn shop.
Okay, so the whole thing was converted.
I believe so. I didn't take the original pictures. I've never been inside the property, or my involvement was, the case was just turned over to me.
And did you send another notice of violation, or you just sent a new notice of hearing?
The only notice I posted on the property was the hearing. After I spoke with Ms. Rivera, she said it was time to bring the property to hearing so we can come to some resolution.
Okay. Has the city spoken with the respondent?
She has.
Okay. Because the original notice of violation is from January, so,
Correct. That wasn't me, but
yeah, I just want to make sure that's, okay, let me hear from the planning and zoning staff then.
Your Honor, my name is Millie Rivera. I'm a planner with the City of Green Acres.
And you were sworn in at the beginning, correct?
Correct.
Okay, very good, go ahead.
So I inherited this case in April. I met with the applicant. I believe they've been in the process since 2022. The property was purchased in 2020. There's no indication of when the interior work began or when the house of worship began operating. But when I inherited the property, I met with the applicant, Jim Frogner. We discussed the comments that were initially issued to him. I went over the site plan that was provided him comments. In this package, there is a chronology that was that I provided to the applicant, and it indicates every time that there was correspondence with him.
Do I have that you're looking at?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
I do
Should be
not.
in there, at least from this package. There is an updated chronology, I guess that wasn't provided to you, that has the correspondence that I have with the applicant, Mr. Jim Progner. I also met with the applicant on November 5th to go over the comments that were issued to him in April of this year after my initial review.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you. Let me just ask you, comments on what?
On his resubmittal,
So a special exception application?
special exception and the site plan amendment
Okay.
for the site, because it's not only the address that is provided here, it's also 5083, I believe? Sorry.
So I don't think I have the chronology that you're looking at.
It should. Hereditary.
Let me see what it looks like. Oh, yeah, I don't have anything that looks like that.
I can provide you with the updated copy for the record, because I would like that to be included. if
Do you have
possible.
that with you right now or no?
I can print it out. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead and continue your testimony, and then I'll look at that paper when she comes back with it.
Yes, Your Honor. So I met with the applicant, once I got the project inherited to me, and that was in April of this year. Like I said, he resubmitted, the site plan amendment and the justification for the special exception for the house of worship, none of which was previously applied for. As I mentioned, the property was purchased in 2020. In that, like I said, I provided him with comments in April after my initial review. We met, I want to say twice, I just don't have the chronology in front of me. I want to say twice. In that time frame, he hadn't resubmitted. I followed up with the applicant periodically. I was advised he was going to resubmit in August of this year. That was not done. And then I spoke to the applicant again this month. We met here in the city on November 5th, and they said that they would be resubmitting at some point. And that was with the applicant and the property owner.
Okay.
So they still have not resubmitted any documents or responded to any of the comments issued. And
Who's the applicant, just so I'm
the
clear?
applicant is Jim Frogner.
Okay, and is he an architect or a
I went
planner or
through the
something?
Planner
Okay.
and/or architect. He might be both. I'm not
Okay.
sure. But yeah, they said that they would be resubmitting and still have not, so they don't have any special exceptions on a record or a updated site plan amendment. Because it is two properties, it's two separate parcels. And we're requesting a unity of title to complete the project, as well as the updated site plan amendment.
So I guess as it relates to the code enforcement case, all that's at issue here is a special exception, correct? And the building permits for the renovation. The
for
site
the
plan is
interior
is a separate matter?
Correct, but it would
Okay.
go in conjunction with the special exception
Okay.
for approval, so.
Oh, so is that the holdup? They can't go to hearing on the special exception until the site plan modification stuff is?
I mean, the site is really old. I want to say it's from 1975 maybe, so it does not adhere to any of our code of ordinances.
But does that stop the special exception application from tracking forward?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Okay, so what's still missing from the special exception application?
They just haven't resubmitted, so I don't know what exactly they're doing there. They only provided justification for house of worship, but they have other uses in conjunction with it, so they haven't provided us with any updates or anything really.
Okay. And you first received an application back in April for special exception?
His resubmittal, his initial submittal was in November 20th of 2022.
22, so they're 2 years in.
Correct. And in this chronology that I'm going to provide you, it shows where he hadn't responded to any of the project managers over the project for months at a time.
Okay. For the record, is the respondent present?
No, Your Honor.
Did you hear any, did you have any idea that they were not coming to the hearing?
The day I posted the hearing notice on his door,
Uh-huh,
I ran into the pastor, so he was aware of the hearing.
okay. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay. What is the city seeking in terms of remedy today?
City is seeking $100 a day, 30 days.
You want 30?
on both?
Yeah.
On all violations?
If there was 2 different parcels, we would have had to send 2 different notices. So if we'll just have to cite the other part and bring it back to the January hearing, so that'd be separate.
Okay. All right, is that your your updated chronology? Okay, thank you. Okay. So their chronology is very clear. They've had plenty of time to deal with this. I guess, let me ask the code officer, what's the evidence that they're operating a worship center there? Or I presume it's a church, right?
Yes, the information that I'm getting is from planning and zoning.
Okay.
That it's still operating.
Let me ask planning and zoning to testify to that. So, has somebody seen the church or spoken to the pastor and the pastor admitted they're running a church, or?
To my knowledge and from discussions with the pastor, on November 5th, they have been operating as a house of worship.
Okay. And I guess the application that you reviewed, the special exception application, is for a house of worship? Okay.
Your Honor, there's also a website for their house of worship.
Okay. And the building is the building on 5057?
There's 2 different structures, Your Honor. So there's one, the one that you have there, the address for, and then there's 5083,
Okay.
which is adjacent to it.
Okay.
One was previously a barber shop, and the other was a pawn shop.
Yeah, their Sunbiz is linked to 5083, so I just want to make sure that the record is clear that the church activity is occurring at 5057, since the Sunbiz directs you to a different.
I want to say they have 2 separate services in both structures.
Okay. 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 All right, I'll append your chronology to the case file and admit that into the record. I noted for the record the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file in case 1-24-10113 as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find, based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting, a couple of affidavits of posting actually, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find, based on the testimony of the code enforcement officer as well as planning and zoning staff, that the respondents, in violation of sections 105.1 for the interior renovation work done without the required permits, and also 110.1 for the inspections required. And I'll also find respondents in violation of section 16-171 and 16-474, subpart 1, for the operation of a house of worship without the required special exception application. A special exception approval, noting that the respondent has applied for a special exception use approval, but has not proceeded through the hearing process, with the applications having been filed back in September of 2022. I'll require respondents to comply with the listed code sections within 30 days, or a fine of $100 a day will begin to run on the 31st, beginning on the 31st day for each day that the violations continue to exist on the property. And I'll sign an order that reflects that.
Number 8 on the agenda, case 6-24-10527. This case was initiated and will be presented by Xavier Morales.
Good afternoon, Xavier Morales, excuse me, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property is located at 1A Ricks Drive. This is a mobile home in the Lago Palma community. The property owner is listed as Alexis Acosta Vega. This property was first cited on June 25th, 2024. This property was referred to us by the property manager. This case is about the property has work that was done without a permit. There are air conditioner units that were installed without a permit, an awning over the carport that was installed without a permit, pavers extending the driveway that were installed without a permit, and there are storm shutters that are closed, and these remain closed outside of any adverse weather conditions. And also a wood panel covering a window that also has a storm shutter. So it has a wood panel and then a storm shutter closed behind it. I think it's on the ground now. I took pictures this morning.
Okay.
But it was kind of hiding that. The respondent, the property owner, was in contact with me regularly when this case initiated. He went through the motions of trying to get the permits, but then all of a sudden he stopped contact, and I haven't heard from him since. I've submitted a package for evidence, which includes the proof of ownership, but it's a mobile home VIN check printout, since it doesn't have a papas. A copy of the notice of violation dated June 27th, 2024. Proof of service for the notice of violation. It was posted, and the affidavit of posting is included. And then a copy of the notice of violation / hearing notice dated October 31st, 2024. Proof of service for that notice. It was posted, and the affidavit of posting is included. And then I also sent a notice of violation / hearing notice dated October 31st, 2024. And it was sent to the address of record on the mobile home title search, the VIN check printout. I also included a City of Green Acres screenshot of the permits that have been applied for at the property address. And there are multiple photographs of the property as well.
Is the business tax code section still at issue?
The business tax receipt was added to this notice. When this case started, they were renters on the property, and there was no business tax receipt for renting that property out. They have since vacated the property. The property is vacant right now.
Okay, so are you taking the BTR section off, or?
David, so that they don't do it again. Did they vacate before the compliance date?
They
That you gave them?
vacated after I posted the very initial posting, which was June 25th.
Okay.
Okay. And you said that he was in communication with you, so are there permits in the system applied for?
He would call me constantly, asking for additional time in order to request the permits, but no permits were ever requested.
So no application is
There's
in?
none,
Okay.
no application.
Okay. And the shutters today are still down. Is it just the one shutter?
There's that one shutter, then
Oh, I
there's
see
a
that.
photo of another shutter on
Yeah.
the ground. That's new, it fell off. It was covering the boarded window.
Okay. What are you seeking in terms of remedy today?
$100 a day after 30 days.
And when is the printout that you got for the mobile home? When did you print this?
You should have a time on there.
Let me see if, hold on. I don't see a printout date on the actual form, but it was before October 31st, which is when I sent the notice to the address that is also on that VIN check.
Have you been back on there? My worry is that there's a for sale sign on the house.
It
On the
hasn't
mobile
been
home.
sold.
It has not been
It
sold?
has not been
Okay.
sold. It's still. I've been in contact with the property manager as well.
Okay, very
Recent,
recently?
yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. I guess in the future on these mobile home cases, if you can print out the same sheet the day of the hearing or contemporaneous with the hearing, just so, just since those are a little bit different than the standards. Just to make sure nothing has changed. All right, you said 30 days or $100, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, for the record, is a respondent present in this case? Seeing none, in case 6-24-10527, I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documentation in the case file, which include affidavits of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the city code officer that the respondent's in violation of sections 110.1, 7-423P, 105.1, and 7-412. And I'll require respondents to comply with those sections within 30 days, or a $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Next item on the agenda is number 9, case dash 7-2410559. This case was initiated and will be presented by Xavier Morales.
Good afternoon, Xavier Morales, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property is located at 3565 South Jog Road. The property owner is listed as Church of God, Seventh Day of Palm Beach Incorporated. This property was first cited on June 18th, 2024, and this case is about the property having open storage items, such as tires, bricks, and metal objects on the side of the house, storing construction equipment or materials behind the house. The house is also in need of having the walls cleaned or painted, and obtaining a permit for a concrete shed that is located in the rear of the property. I have submitted a package for evidence which includes the proof of ownership, the Papa's printout, a copy of the Sunbiz Corporation screenshot, a copy of the notice of violation / hearing notice dated October 28, 2024, proof of service for the notice of violation / hearing notice. It was posted and the affidavit of posting is included. Also included is a copy of a City of Green Acres permit history for the property, and there are photos of the property.
So I heard your testimony about the open storage. What about the other violations?
They have one of the photos shows the wall on the side of the property, which is stained, or I don't know if it's just dirt and it can be pressure washed,
Okay.
or if it needs paint, but it's pretty bad. It also has a shed, a concrete shed, towards the rear of the house that has no permit. I think you have the pictures. You'll see different piles of, I guess, debris and the different items that they move around. I think that the person who lives there works or has some type of construction business, because at times they bring construction materials and then they'll remove them, and so
Okay.
depending on at different dates, they'll have different piles of material. Can I approach?
Yes. And did you re-inspect today or yesterday? Oh, I see. They're backwards. Okay, I got it.
This is an example.
Okay, perfect. Do you want this added into there?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's much more than is in the photo from the 16th.
It changes.
Okay. So that's from July 9th. Do you have other photos from July 9th? Let me see, because I just want to make sure you're limited to, even though the stuff moves around, you're limited to, from your notice, was dated July.
I have a lot of photos.
Yeah, let me see your July photos if I could, just to confirm. There were shutters up in July?
They had like boards. All their windows were boarded up, but that was during.
Let me ask you, go back and get on there. I'll look through these. Go back and just get on the microphone, just so the recording picks you up. So they had, what were you saying?
The house was boarded up because of the last storm that we had. They did board up the house with wood panels, but they've since taken them down.
So your notice was from October 28th. Are the boards down now?
They are down.
They're down now, okay.
There's a window that's boarded up, but I think it's because it's a broken window.
Okay. Have you had any communication with the respondent?
Special Magistrate, we have had communication with the respondents of the property. They are full aware of the violations, and we're trying to bring them into compliance.
Okay. And what are you seeking in terms of remedy on this one?
Sorry, Jade.
So the city is recommending that section 7-423P, the shutters and impact protection, 7-423A, exterior structure, and 7-420, open storage, must come into compliance within 7 days. And in section 105.1, the Florida Building Code permits required come into compliance within 30 days or $100 a day.
Okay. And I guess if the shutters are in compliance, you want a finding of fact on that instead of 7
Yes.
days? Okay. So 7423P will be a finding of fact?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the fine amount you said?
$100, your magistrate.
Thank you. And for the record, is the respondent present? All right, seeing none, we'll note the record, the respondent is not present on this case. I'll enter in case 7-24-10559, the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file that the city had good service for today's hearing as evidenced by the affidavits of posting. I'll find based on the evidence in the case file as well as the testimony of the code officer that the respondents were in violation of section 7-423P for the shutters that were on the property, in violation of the code, but have since complied, so I'll assign a finding of fact for that code section. For code section 7-423A and 7-420, I'll require respondents to comply with those code sections within 7 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter. And I'll find respondents in violation of sections 105.1 for the shed that's built without a permit, and I'll require respondents to comply with that code section within 30 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for that violation should it continue after the 30th day. And Mr. Morales, do you want these back so they don't get out of your case file? Thank you. Next case.
Item 10, case 7-24-10576. This case was initiated and will be presented by Xavier Morales.
Good afternoon, Xavier Morales, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property is located at 4511 MacArthur Palm Trail. The property owner is listed as Verona Palms Homeowners Association Incorporated. This property was first cited on July 16th, 2024. This case is about the installation of the click-to-enter gate entry system that was installed without a permit. This system is required by the city of Green Acres, and it allows emergency vehicles to enter unmanned gated communities through a radio signal that opens the gates. The system was installed, but to date, no permit has been applied for. I have submitted a package for evidence, which includes the proof of ownership, the Papa's printout, a screenshot of the Sunbiz site listing the corporation, a copy of the notice of violation / hearing notice dated October 31st, 2024, proof for service of that notice, it was posted, and the affidavit of posting is included. A copy of a notice of violation dated August 23rd, 2024. Proof of service for the notice of violation, it was mailed by certified mail, and the signed mail receipt is included. And a City of Green Acres screenshot copy of the permits that have been applied for at the property address. I also have photos of the installed entry system. And I did speak to the contractor before the hearing. He's in the process. He created it's done? Hold on, Your Honor. Sorry. I'm being notified that the permit was issued today, this afternoon.
Okay.
Right, or-
So does that comply everything?
The inspection, no, we still need an inspection.
Okay.
So they did obtain the permit, and we're pending the inspection.
Okay. Okay. This is an HOA, I guess, okay. So that would only comply out 105.1, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you seeking a finding of fact on that?
Are they a repeat?
No,
This is one-time
this
offense?
is the one time, yes. It's installed, all we need is to inspect it, so no.
Let's still just get the finding of fact, just in case.
Okay. All right, and this long printout of permits, none of those are for the click to enter, is that correct?
They are not.
Just so the record is clear, because I don't necessarily know what all those numbers mean. Okay. What's the city seeking in terms of compliance on the outstanding code sections?
$100 a day after 30 days.
And the city's position is that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time to close out those remaining violations, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, anything further from the city?
Nothing further.
For the record, is the respondent present? Seeing none, I'll note for the record the respondent is not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case file as composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file that include affidavits of posting and a signed certified mail that the city had good service for today's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of the city code officer and the documents in the case file that the respondents were in violation of section 105.1 for the click-to-enter system that was installed without a permit, that the respondent has complied with that section but did not comply by the deadline specified in the notice of violation. So I'll issue a finding of fact with regard to section 105.1. I'll find for the remaining code sections that the respondent's in violation of sections 5-11C, 5-11D, 110.1, and 5-11A. And I'll require a respondent to comply with those sections within 30 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violations continue thereafter.
Next item is item 11 on the agenda, case 7-24-10578. This case was initiated and will be presented by Xavier Morales.
This case is complied as of this morning.
That's why I don't have papers. So you're pulling that one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Pulling it.
Yeah. Item number 13, case 9-24-10759. This case was initiated and will be presented by Jerry Bernal.
Go ahead, sir.
Jerry Bernal, Code Compliance Officer for the City of Green Acres. This property is located at 910 Harbor Point Way and is inside the Harbor Point community within River Bridge. At the request of the Harbor Point property manager and the Harbor Point HOA, they requested my presence for an inspection they were conducting on a different matter. The complaint was about the stairways, didn't have any guardrails. So the HOA president was every time she'd have to do her inspection of the property, which is the second floor, she had nothing to hold on to, so she brought it to my attention. So on September the 5th, I inspected the residence and confirmed that handrails with stairways with more than 4 risers required handrails per city code, and none were installed. So I sent a notice of violation, which was sent through certified mail. To date, no application has been submitted for handrail installation by a contractor. I submitted my
What does that take the form of, a building permit application?
building permit and
Okay.
inspection, correct?
Okay. That's not a site plan item, that's just a
No,
building permit.
the day of the inspection, the property owner was there, and he said he took them off. He didn't give a reason why.
Okay, so they used to be there and
They used to be
Okay,
there, yeah.
okay.
There's pictures that show
okay.
that they used to be there. And so that's when I issued the violation. The package submitted has the proof of ownership, Papa's, which shows that Benjamin Karubi and his brother, or I believe his nephew, Eric Karubi, are the owners. Proof of service for the hearing request, which was dated October 28th, was also sent certified mail and posted at the property and City Hall. The affidavit of posting is in the package dated November the 8th, as well as the photos. And no contact have I had with the with the property owner. I even contacted the property manager, and she hasn't heard from them either.
Okay. And that's a whole set of stairs, huh?
Yeah,
With no rail, okay.
no rails at all. And I don't know what the business is that the HOA president has with them, but she has to do inspections.
Mm-hmm.
And
your code says every interior flight of stairs having more than 4 risers, that's
Correct.
4 steps?
yeah, you have first set is more than 4, then on the next set going at an angle.
Okay. Okay, what are you seeking in terms of compliance on this one?
30 days, $100 a day afterwards.
Is a respondent present in this case?
No.
Seeing none, I'll let the record reflect the respondent's not present. I'll enter the city's evidentiary case files, composite exhibit 1, without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include affidavits of posting, that the city had good service for today's hearing. I will find, based on the photographs in the case file and the testimony of the code enforcement officer, that the respondent's in violation of section 7-424 F2 for the stairs that do not have the required handrails or guardrails. I'll require a respondent to comply within 30 days, or $100 a day fine will be assessed for each day thereafter.
Yes. Item 14, under old business, case 6-24-10514. The complainant has requested that this case be dismissed.
Okay. What does that mean?
The city.
Oh, you're
Yes.
dismissing it?
We're
Okay.
the city, so
Okay.
the city is gonna dismiss it, sorry.
Okay, so you're asking for that to be, do you
Dismissed.
need anything from me on that, or no? Just,
No.
okay. And then I need to go back to case number 1 also, because I think you all stepped out with that gentleman.
We didn't.
Yeah, and I didn't officially do anything with that, so was he in agreement?
Your Honor, they understand the continuance, and
Okay.
for the continuance that the city needs to cite the property owner, which is the owner of the plaza, and not the individual tenants, as that's the preferred course of action. So the continuance is really for us to cite the property owner.
The renotice.
Yeah. the
Okay.
renotice. So
Okay.
they understand that. They have some other issues, but that's for the city to address.
Okay. So with that, I'll, I guess, recognize that this city is pulling case 1 and we'll renotice it however the city deems fit.
Yep.
Okay.
Same with 2.
I think I did that one on
Yeah,
the
we
record,
did
though.
that
Yeah, I think it was 1 I just made a note that I needed to go
Yes.
back to. So with that, I don't see anything further for the magistrate. Is that correct?
Yes, nothing.
Okay, and there was no minutes I was to approve. So with that, I will adjourn the hearing at 4:40.
Magistrate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did sign October 30th. Yes, ma'am. Let the record reflect I did sign those minutes. Thank you. And with that, I'll adjourn at 4:43.